It might even break them all camp, and then got one today. Just maybe talk about how nice it was to have a big run early.
It felt great. Was able to get the crowd loud. Had a great block from Corey Robinson. I just seen a video of it. I was like, oh shoot. But yeah, it was great to get that run.
And Quincy, can you maybe just talk about playing near home, what it meant to you, and having a big game in the process?
Yes, sir. Playing here is real special to me. I have a lot of family here. I know that this supposedly to be like the last game here, so I have to make sure we ended up with a bang. So.
Quincy, Sam, Coach Pittman talked about challenging the defensive line this week. What was the week like in practice? And then how good was it to have the performance you guys did have today with all the tackles for loss and sacks?
Definitely put more pressure on the quarterback. I feel like as a defense, we got after him. We all knew our assignments and the game plan went real well. So I think we did pretty well for today.
What's it like watching? I guess this was kind of your first taste of watching Talon run around like that. What was it like watching? 150 rushing yards. Does he do anything that surprises you out there?
That hurdle was crazy. Nah, I was like right in front of him, kind of. I thought he was gonna throw it to me. He just ended up running and hurdled him. Like, that came out of nowhere. So that dude is a dog, man.
Yeah. You guys had 300 rushing yards, something like that. What can you say about the offensive line's performance today?
Offensive line, they did their thing. This week last week we just like how you said, there was a lot of pressure on them. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves with making sure we finish down the field, making sure we block down the field, and yeah, and it kind of just went into the game. Like that same mindset went into the game.
I think it was 285 yards the first 14 plays you guys ran, 28 points in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
What can you speak to the execution, just how prepared you guys were to play a perfect quarter?
Well, we knew our first 8 plays, and we kind of had to memorize. Petrino, he told us, he was like, he's been telling us since camp, or way before camp, that we are an explosive offense. And really, that's what we showed today. We just had to, finally put it on display, and that's what we did.
Sam Pittman saying a week ago, we got to get part of the front seven. How much did that really, hit home throughout the week for you guys?
I think that was our key focus in the D-line room. To our coach Adams, he held us responsible as grown men to execute the job, and I feel as if the D-line, we got after him.
How are you guys? What was the atmosphere like today? What is that feeling? Really been full in this building for a while. How much energy do you feel before the game and at the start?
I was super nervous. I get nervous before every game, but I was just super nervous. Like I come from, Mexico State, where our sellout was 16,000. So, playing in front of all these fans is something that's super cool for me. And like I'm just blessed I'm here and I have this opportunity to be able to play in front of the Hawks.
Amen.
Did ever play another game here?
I think so. I think it's a tradition that's been here for years. So if it is, we ended up with a bang, like I said. So I just thank, everybody for coming out. Thank everybody for opportunity.
Yeah. Big touchdown run. Was that the same play call from the Alabama A&M game where you're so close on the one on the outside?
Similar. It's a similar call. It was a similar call.
What was this week's preparation for you after having that film of that first game coming into today?
Emphasizing pass protection. That was the biggest thing. Coach was he was on me about that, out of running back room, honest about that. And also for me personally, that the play where I stumbled last week, that was on my mind the whole week. So making sure that didn't happen again was definitely.
Coach was there saying that, he hammered the entire week the importance of the game to the state. As someone who's from here, did you kind of take it upon yourself to maybe tell some of the teammates that aren't from this area kind of what this game means to the state?
Oh, most definitely. I know, just speaking to my other teammates, I told them big teams like LSU, Alabama, big schools like that, they play here. But just the game that everybody's been wanting for years. So I thank God I'm a part of this opportunity, and it's in the history. So.
Pittman talked about how, Jalen Raynor was a challenge that he wanted you guys to focus on and try to contain him. How do you guys feel like you're able to handle that and guard him?
I feel like, Coach Tua, again, his scheme and the way he draws up things, we practice things over and over again. And we get different looks from our scout team that gives us edges on what they may do, or, open plays or open busted plays that, might happen through our defense. And the way that those guys work, they fix those things and fix those problems before Saturday gets there.
And then for Mike, obviously it was kind of a similar day where the wide receivers broke out in the last game. This time it's you guys having different rushers score. What was the key to just having you guys perform well, but also different players getting involved as well?
I think that's the beauty of our offense. We don't just have one explosive player, we have a lot. So being able to, I think Coach Petrino, he does a great job being able to get his explosive players the ball. And, that's what we did.
You walk us a little bit just more through you, and I know you said you got the block from Corey, but just the experience in itself of your first rushing touchdown. I know you had the receiving one last week. Just when you kind of got that daylight.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we had the first 8 plays memorized. Coach, he came up to me and he asked me, he was like, "What play you think you're gonna score on?" I was like, "It's gonna be that toss play or really any perimeter play that we have." And like I said, we knew the setup of the defense that they were gonna have, and we guessed right. And I just knew from the beginning, I was like, okay, this is either gonna be 30-yard run or a 50+ yard touchdown. And luckily we had great blocking. Corey, he was jogging a little bit. He ended up hitting the dude, running full speed after he seen I was behind him. And yeah, that's how we got the touchdown.
And then for just both of you, you're heading into SEC play now. Just maybe these first 2 games, biggest things you feel like y'all can take from those and now bring into SEC.
Well, I feel like our first 2 games we didn't play our best.
Mhm.
It's snippets out there, of what we can do. But I feel like we haven't played our best yet.
And just piggybacking off him, I think we should take everything just week by week. Again, we got great coaches who prepare us for moments, playing SEC ball. So just to sum up everything, like I said, just take everything week by week, keep our heads down, just keep working.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, HOGS, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's, where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Got a little jingle